Yo, what up? We back with another edition of Sports Betting with Wes. And before we talk about tonight's tickets, let's do a recap of last night's games and how we did on last night's tickets. Starting off with Charlotte covered that 15 and a half to the Pacers, like I said, 108 to 129. My Knicks covered that 16 and a half deficit to Chicago, like I said. Even though I told y'all not to follow me, I told y'all the Knicks would. I also definitely did tell y'all that the Knicks would win. So they covered that 16, 96. No, I'm sorry. They did not cover that 16. They won by 10. So I told you guys not to follow me with that 16-point spread, but to bet on the Knicks. And that's exactly what happened. Like I said, the Knicks covered. Toronto covered that negative 13 to Memphis. Like I said, 96 to 128. Houston covered that negative 17 and a half to Utah. Like I said, 106 to 140. And the Bucks slash Boston covered that 217.5 point spread um, by 234, 17, 27, almost 20 points, 133 to 101. Like I said, Orlando covered that negative 7 to Dallas. Like I said, and even though Boston did not cover the spread that they what was Boston given 17, even though Boston did not cover that negative 17 to the Bucks, Tatum still covered that double double. Like I said, and last but not least, Sacramento covered that 5 that they were getting from the Pels. Actually won by 2, I believe. Yep, like I said. And that was it. That happened, like I said. Everything else did not happen, like I said. Timberwolves did not cover that 2 they were getting from the 76ers. They lost 103 to 115. Brooklyn did not cover that huge 16 points they were getting to Atlanta. They lost 141 to 107. And the Bucks did not cover the 17 that they were getting to Boston. So they lost 133 to 101. And with that being said, on to tonight's games. Starting with Washington getting a whopping 17 and a half points from Miami. And I might have to take Washington with that 17 and a half. It's a lot of points. Spurs are giving up 2 to Denver. I'm going to take the Spurs, and I'm also going to bet on Wemby and Jokic to give me a double double. The over and under is 242.5. I'm going to bet on the over. Detroit is giving up 1.5 to the 76ers, and I like Detroit. Over and under is 227.5. I bet on the over. Toronto is getting 9.5 from Boston. I'll take Boston with the negative 9.5. I'm also going to bet on Tatum to give me a double double. Don't know if he's playing or not. It's still too early to put the bet in for that. He's not even. They're not even showing who's playing or not. So probably have to wait till tomorrow when the games are actually playing because it's like about 2 o'clock in the morning the day of the day of the games. So when I say tomorrow, I mean later on today. For some reason, I call tomorrow. Tomorrow's not here until I go to sleep and wake up. So on to Charlotte giving up 1.5, getting 1.5 from the Timberwolves. And I'm assuming they're not playing a lot of their players. Somebody's not playing for Charlotte to be getting 1.5. And I'm still going to go with Charlotte. The Jazz are getting 21.5 from OKC. And that's a lot of points. OKC, I know they're the champs. That's a lot. I really would like to take the Jazz with that 21, but the Jazz is so bad, so horrible that I'm gonna go with OKC. I had the Jazz written down. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna take OKC with the 21. Orlando giving up 3 to the Pelicans. I like Orlando. Oh, excuse me. Let's retract. The OKC and Jazz game is 238. The spread, and I'm not gonna touch it. Now on to Orlando giving up 3 points to the Pelicans, and I'm gonna take the Magic over and under 235. I'm not gonna touch it. The Lakers are giving up 6.5 to Dallas with no Luka. Luka Doncic hurt himself last night, and I'm still going to go with the Lakers. The over and under is 235.5. I'm not going to touch it. And last but not least, Houston is giving up 4 points to Golden State, and I'm gonna go with Houston. And the over and under is 223.5, and I'm gonna go with the over. And that will conclude our bets for tonight. Good luck on y'all tickets. Until we sit down tomorrow and talk about it. Peace.